Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yep, man. So the plan is to have a 3 month training. So we will be not having training on the weekend, so only weekdays training. So this is the Java course outline for 30 days. This all kind of basics, and when we go as we move on, we go for the high level. Um, until this, you guys might have learned to 20th point. So from 21, I'm going to teach you like how you can use the RESTful APIs with the Spring Boot. You guys know about the Spring Boot? Spring Framework? Anybody
Yeah.
have idea?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. So I'm going to teach you the building RESTful APIs with Spring Boot and testing in the Java, JUnit testing, and the design patterns on a high level. And finally, the best practices and how you can maintain the code quality. So on 26th day, I'm going to explaining the planning and requirement analysis. So in software, like how we actually plan and take the requirements. So basically, we will have a 15 days one sprint, and at the start of the sprint, we'll have a planning meeting. So how the tickets will be assigned to the each individuals, and how we connect with the product team or the product manager to get the requirements of any of the new functionalities they want to bring in. So after that, I want to give an Java project development using the full stack, and like including the testing and the deployments. Deployments in the sense like I'm going to explain you like how the real-time projects will be deployed into AWS. I mean that AWS is nothing but a public cloud, right? So you are accessing Flipkart, Amazon, everything. It's been deployed into the cloud, and you would be able to access the URL anywhere. So and so whatever the project I am going to explain, you guys have to do that project, and finally that will be reviewed by our team. And apart from that, this SQL course and this JavaScript will be contains not only JavaScript, it could be some Angular also. I'm going to include the Angular concepts here, because the front end technologies also we want to give you some of the useful things, so that when we are going to create a mini full stack project, so it will be helpful for you guys. So before you guys going to create a mini full stack project, so we have to do a design. So how the underlying design should be done. So it's not like you go and build a house. You have to do a design first, like uh, within this much of length and breadth, you have to plan where this specific rooms or hall should come in. So similarly, we have several components included while we are developing the project. So one is the technology which we are using, and the database which we are going to select, and the cloud where we are going to store. All of this going to be under design apart. So I'm going to give you guys how this works in the real time. So setting up a project and tools, that's part of development. I guess you guys might have heard about IntelliJ, and we are going to run this core project in the IntelliJ. And finally, how you guys can do the unit testing. Unit testing is like testing the part of the business code which you put in, and how we maintain the documentations after we actually code in for the specific functionalities. That all I'm going to show you guys. So if we get a time for this, we'll have a mock interview with one-on-one. So this is the basic plan, guys. So have any doubts here or any questions?
Sir, I have one doubt. Yeah, is it necessary to learn the AWS for the full stack?
See, AWS full stack is about all about the Java technologies.
Yeah, yeah,
How you are going to deploy your project, right?
yes.
So how it's going to be gets live. So those things you guys have to have an idea, because once
Okay.
you go into the industry, and you will be not able, you will be not knowing all the things. But if you know all these things, and if the interviewer asks you about these questions, and you can let them know, yeah, I know about AWS and how to deploy our application into the cloud. So those things will really help you guys. It's a kind of a head start where, because see, on daily basis, as a lead, I'm basically approving all of the um, code review PRs, and I'm going to trigger a build for the development, and finally how it will be released to the productions. So those things you guys have to know. It is not about only going forward. It's not only about just building about the Java, how you are going to deploy it, and where you are going to keep it, and how you are going to check the logs in the production if any issues happens, how you are going to check in the production. So all these things, if you guys know it, so on the first week of your job, you will be like, you will be picked up and you can do anything. That's what I said. I wanted to explain, I wanted to teach you how the industry works, not about only the Java. So any other questions? I hope you guys are clear on that. Okay, guys. We'll start with the tutorial of Java now. Okay. This is, I think most of you guys have already know about the Java. I think this all are the basics. So what is Java? Like Java is developed by Sun Microsystem in 1995, and Java is a highly popular object-oriented programming language. This platform-independent programming language is utilized for Android development, web development, artificial intelligence, cloud applications, and much more. So the basic syntax of Java looks like this. So guys, anybody doesn't have know about basics also here? So all are good with the basics, right? Guys, you have to speak up. Otherwise, I cannot. It should be in sync.
Yeah, we know basics of Java. Okay.
So Java is highly popular because of object-oriented programming language. So what do you guys know about the object-oriented? Why Java has become because of object-oriented programming language? Anyone has idea?
Sir, to design the program using classes and objects.
Yeah, classes and objects. So I want to know about more of like in the real time how the object will be utilized here. So class is nothing but a snapshot of the class or an object, and object is nothing but it's a kind of it captures everything in the class apart from the static variables or methods which have been defined inside it. So let me give you an example. So for example, if you go to movie theaters, okay, let's say each individual audience or an object, okay. So as soon as the movie get over, you guys will go in exit and it get empty, right? So it will be allowed for the new batch, right? So similarly, Java is like what happened? Similarly, every computer will have RAM, right? So RAM will have some storage, okay? And as soon as the person one creates runs the application, the person one's object will be persisted into the RAM, okay? Similarly, P2, the person 2 will run the application and his object will be created. This object will be stored inside the RAM. So this RAM is nothing but a real-time object where a memory where a real-time object will be stored. So think of you guys. So in a real-time application, we have thousands of classes and thousands of peoples will be using our applications. For example, let's say Flipkart. So Flipkart, I think in demo class I already mentioned. There are thousands of people who have been using the Flipkarts, right? So if all of them creates an object and if all of them resides, it gets overflow. And for the new user, they will be not having any. Once you log into Flipkart, you will be an active member of Flipkart. So your object will be stored inside the RAM. Okay. And until you go back, this object will be set to null. Okay. And set to null. So this is kind of a live entity. So if you are live in your application, you live in a RAM. The RAM is the costly memory and it does the high processing of all of your tasks. So here P3 will have object will have all the associated things, and if you have int I is equal to 10, so it will have that snapshot int I is 10. It holds int I is equal to 10 now. Okay. And later you will change int I is equal to 20 and it will hold the 20 value at that time. So as soon as you stop the server, this P3 will be associated with null and the garbage collector comes. The garbage collector comes for every 30 minutes, let's say. He comes and look who is associated with null. Okay, this guy is associated. Just remove him. Just remove him in the sense like it's going to free up the RAM. It's going to free up the RAM and you will be having the free space for others. So this is the concept of object. Object is nothing but a live entity which will be stored in the RAM, and as soon as you're done, it will be removed from the RAM. So this object-oriented concept is what Java has included. That's why Java became famous. You guys might understand what C might have done this. No, C used to just create the object, but it never used to remove. You as a programmer has to unlink or remove or make it null after the end of the program. But that is something the memory management you have to do. But in this Java, the garbage collector comes in every 30 minutes and it will run and it will clear. So this is the basically what the object is. So how many guys have know about the object works in this way?
So this is my first time I heard this much.
Sorry?
Thank you. This is my first time only, sir. But this much I didn't know about the object.
Okay. And how about others? Please pick up, guys. This is not like a regular training. It should be like synchronized. So you guys have any doubts, please ask Now itself and clear it.
Certain doubts. And clear.
Okay. How about Sharat, Suhas, Shiva, Sai Prasad, Akil, Chetan?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
I'm
sir,
clear.
no doubt.
Yes, sir, understood.
Okay. So whenever you say object, it's nothing but a real-time entity which is going to be stored in the RAM, and once you finish with your program running, and it will be automatically removed. So just now I was giving you an example. So in the movie theater, each person is an object, and when the movie starts, everyone will sit inside the theater, and movie ends, everyone comes outside, and the next batch, so that it will be freed up for the next batch, and next batch can go and sit. But what used to happen for C is like the person, the if the person doesn't wants to go, he will sit within the theater itself. So what would happen? So you'll be not having free seats. So that is the reason Java has become more popular in 1995. So, and the platform independent. So the platform independent in the sense like the JVM, we can have it in any place, and the output is .class files that can be ran in any of the systems. Any of the systems means other OSs as well. So that is the reason it became famous. And why Java? Why we have to use Java? Guys, tell me. When it comes to industry application, because see, I am a tech lead of in Java. Okay, so why I have to use Java now? Why our team is using Java for building the application?
Java is a platform independent programming language, and it is consisting of OOPS concepts also.
Yeah,
It is robust and secure.
correct.
And it support multiple multi-threading also. That's right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, any others? How about you?
It is portable.
Correct. Sharath and Suhas, are you listening songs? Come on, man, speak up. Whatever you know, just let me know.
So versatile and complex.
Okay. So similarly, guys, what happens is, for example, I always give example for you guys so that it will be better understand. It will be stored in your brains. Okay. So the thing is, let's say any example for earth moving evacuation. So you'll use the JCBs, right? So why use JCB? It has all the functionalities readily available for you guys, right? So that's why use the earth mover JCBs for developing a land. So similarly, if I have to use the Java, it has to provide me all the functionalities which are required for building an enterprise applications. So like you guys said, multi-threading, because of platform independence, robust, and the security it provides. So all of this will be helpful whenever we are going to develop an applications. What happens if I want to do authentications? I can use a Spring. I can use a Spring authentications, and it provides all of the concepts readily available. I just have to implement it with a small set of code. I don't have to implement a big set of codes like 10,000, 5,000 lines. I can do it within the 10 lines of codes. Why? Because of Java. Because Java supports that much of pre-built functionalities, which by being developed from 1995. So if we go for that's why usually whenever we are going to develop an application, we go for the popular ones. So populars will support all the frameworks, all the different databases, and it's keep on building a new versions, which is going to solve any of the older issues. And older issues it will solve. It will come up with new features. Now we are having a Java SE21, right? So this release, like user will have binary free to use the like a distribution under the Oracle terms. So similarly, each of these release have introduced new features. So that's why it's platform independent. Java program can run on any device with a JVM, ensuring cross-platform compatibility. And robust and reliable, strong memory management. So as I said, like the objects will be stored and removed from the RAM as soon as the garbage collector runs, and the exception handling. So for exception handling also, we just have to throw or catch the exceptions. We are not required to handle each and every corner scenario of it. So it already has a pre-built methods or functionalities. You just have to use it. So you are learning the Java program to just use it. You are not going to build it. And built-in security ensures stable performance under varying conditions. And concurrency support. As we said, like built-in support for multi-threading. For example, I said the example of a JCB. Like if you have a very big line, that time you are going to have 10 JCBs. So to finish your job faster. Similarly, we have a threading concepts. If you want to asynchronously execute or work on some of the tasks by distributing the workload, you can use the multi-threading. And concurrency allows efficient handling of multiple tasks simultaneously. So now scalability. Scalability in the sense like, let's say now today, I want to give you best example for scalability. This will be a useful concepts as you become a seniors. For example, I just given you one of the example where I was showing you the RAM. Okay, so now you have a RAM of allowing only 100 objects. Okay, the RAM capacity is 100 objects, and you build a new application today, and it launched next week, and the capacity to hold for that application is 100 only, right? But what happens if 1,000 users comes in? Your application will crash, right? So one of the guys asked, like, why you have to use AWS? For example, if I use a AWS, it will automatically create a RAM for you. As soon as you reach, you can configure it. As soon as I reach a 70% boss, create me one more. That we will not call RAM. RAM is nothing but a similar instance. Create me one more instance to store other people's. So next batch, next another 100 will be stored here. And this is kind of, you are scaling the application. You are scaling from one instance to two instance, like 1 RAM to 2 RAM. Similarly, as I said, 100,000 people have came. So automatically the AWS is going to launch 100 instance, and it is going to store all of the object inside that 100 instance, 10 instance. So your application will be running smoothly and you won't face any problems. And as soon as all of the objects within this gets associated or removed, AWS automatically claims back this instances. And if only 100 members are using, only 100. So why you have to claim back? Because there is a cost associated with this. For example, they will say, I'm going to charge $100 per hour for using one of the instance. Okay, $100 per hour. So there is a cost associated. That's why when a peak time, you will be charged 1,000, but during the night time, let's say you will have only 10 users, so minimum of 100 you will be paying. So these and all are involved in terms of real-time industry applications. So you guys are following, or you feel it's a little tough?
Following, sir.
Following, sir.
Okay. So this is how the object and where the object is stored and how the scalability works. So scaling is nothing but providing a more storage or more capability to your applications. So that is a scalability architecture. So scalability, so that's why you have to deploy your application within the AWS for the scalable. And also some of the design needs to be handled within our Java framework to be scalable. Okay, that I'm going to explain later. And of course, some of the other features like security and community support. So if you just go to the Stack Overflow, and you will get to know like a lot of things. A lot of things are available for you guys, and a lot of support will be available from for especially for Java, because more number of people are using, and if you query for any questions, you will get support in the Stack Overflow. So that is a community support. So anybody have any doubts here till now?
No, sir.
Yeah, coming to basics of Java. In Java, a class has a blueprint or template for creating the objects. Here are the basics of defining and using classes in Java. So basically, the class declarations we do with the class file. So class and the class name, and this is the access modifiers. So basically, you need to capture start and end for your program, right? So that's why what Java has done is it is creating a class. So within this class, you can have all of your instructions boards. And what's the name of this class? So my class. So using this, you can create object so that my class will be an object inside the RAM. Apart from the class, you might treat the instance variable. So field represent the data or state of the object and are declared within the classes. Example, if you want to create any of the instance variable, private int count. So that instance variable private int count is equal to 1. So why it's called instance variable is like object or instance are same guys here. So as I said, we have an object. This is RAM. You guys must follow from next onwards. This is the RAM and this is object, okay? And you have the class my class object. We cannot write it here. So my class object will have int count. So the count, whatever you have initialized, let's say count is 1. So the my class object will have the count 1. So later onwards, if you change during the runtime, the count can change to or whatever. So similarly, all of the object related properties will stored whatever the class which holds the values that will be stored inside the object. So this is the one object which will be available for you in the real time. So you can perform any operations when you are under the RAM. Okay. I think you guys might have know about this. The main class also has the entry point of the Java application. It's where Java virtual machine starts executing the program. Here are the key details to understand about the main class. So I have one class, okay? Here you have written all the instructions, okay? But what happens here? The virtual machine when you run the program, the virtual machine, what happens? It has to scan all of your code. Okay, it has to scan, and it comes inside the class. But it is not knowing like where I could start the class to start running the instructions. That's why what it searches for the main class. It is nothing but a public static void main. And as soon as it's first scans for the public static void main signature. That's why the main method should always have the signature. So static in the sense, just before this you create an object. That is the moment just before your class objects getting created. So statically initialized. So guys, I given you the example of movie theater. So before you go inside the movie theater, you have to collect the tickets, right? So static is nothing but a collection of ticket. So what happens is the static methods or static variables will be loaded first, and then it will register, okay, this is a static block and these are the static details inside the memory. And after that, the object related details will be stored inside the RAM. You guys can say, why I required a static block? Instead I can have a RAM. Let's say you guys are like you guys are associated to one of the company, Infosys. Okay, each object you have to store company as Infosys. Okay, each object Infosys. So each object will have that Infosys will be stored. Instead that, if you want to save the memory, so all of these guys have the similar company, he can store only once Infosys, and that can be pointed to this. So what happens in this case, instead of here just for this phase only, instead of 3 bytes of memory, you are using only 1 byte. So in real time, it's all about saving the memory. The coding is nothing but how you save a lot of memory. That is nothing but the optimized coding. So we'll have more details when it comes to that. And the static block will be executed first. That is nothing but you are going to you go to movie and you go to buy the ticket first. So everything will be registered. Okay, this guy has taken this seats and all like that. And then it goes inside the public static void main and it reads instruction which and all needs to be done. Okay, this guy has created a my class object. Okay, I'm going to create an object here, my class object. I think this is, you guys are following, right? It's become some weird while I'm drawing.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So public makes the method accessible from anywhere. Basically, hey guy, JVM is coming. If JVM is coming, if you make it private to the class, how can he find? That's why it should be public. And static means before the object, before you going inside the movie theater. Once you go inside the movie theater, you will become a real object. But before that, you have to buy ticket. That's what buy ticket and register. That's what it's going to. It's JVM is going to check in the static block, and it's going to check for the void main signature and comes in, and inside the void main, inside the void main class, I'll explain you. Okay, JVM will come inside the void main class. It might have the my class objects created. Okay, you are saying, okay, I'm going to create an object. Okay, JVM says, okay, you require a object of my, and what JVM does? What will JVM do? Guys, tell me. So you guys are not following then.
No, sir. JVM will allocate the memory for the objects.
So it will have the my will be created, and let's say my class my class has int, let's say different example, string name equals okay. Now JVM comes in. Okay, boss, I have created an object for you. And what all the object contains? It contains the name robot. So it's weird actually. So it contains a name. The object contains a name. Okay. Robot. Like this. Okay. So let's say similarly the inheritance. I'm just going to give you an example of inheritance. Okay. Let's say one of the guy extending my one is there. He is extending the my. Okay. Inheriting. What happens? He will have my one will have the whatever the details which is there in the object as inside like this. The name something robot, and apart from that the my one will have its own instance or the variable memory, something like count is equal to 1. So how inheritance works? He has inherited all of the object related stuff here. That's why when you are able to access the my one. Basically my one extends. Oh, this is weird, man. Okay, let's say my one extends my, and my one will have a copy of my here. That's why whenever you are doing the inheritance, you will be, that's what they said, you will be able to access all of the properties of my class, the parent class. So you got a fair idea?
Yes, sir.
Okay, man, I think we are on time. 6 minutes left, and you guys have any questions? So I just want to know, like, this is how you guys studied, or it's going to be a different or it's real time? Let me know. So, Sharad,
It's good, sir. That's good.
Ashok,
Okay, sir.
hey, I'm not taking attendance, man.
Sir, I'm clear with the concepts.
Okay. How about Malinga? Malinga Raya.
Sir, understand.
Okay. Shiva.
It is good.
Good explanation, sir.
Okay. Sai Prasad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kill. Okay.
So your explanation is very good, sir.
Okay.
When is the next class?
Tomorrow, 7:30.
7:30.
Yeah.
Is it the same every day or like?
Yeah. Every week it will be 7:30 to 8:30.
So from Monday to Saturday, right?
Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday. Okay. Yeah, we are clearly understanding with the live example what you are giving.
Okay. Yeah, that's how you have to study, guys. Because even I was also fresher sometime back. I just used to go and learn only the textual concepts. So that is not going to work. Have to think about the real-time perspective, and then only you can able to even if the interviewer, not only for the interview perspective, interview might have to ask the different use cases for the same question. So you should be able to understand, and when you go inside and you actually start working on, so you will be easily able to crack everything. So that is the agenda of my teaching. Okay, guys, cool. We can meet tomorrow.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day, sir.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you.